Tadasana, standing mountain pose, or Samasthiti, equal standing. For me, Tadasana was mountain pose when I went through my teacher training. We didn't call it down facing dog because the tradition that I learned from, the shape of it, like a mountain, gives it its name, mountain pose. So the key to Tadasana for me that I have learnt over the years in teaching my students and also finding it in my own body is the connection that you find with your pelvis, the top of your pelvis, and the lower ribs. So if you think about that connection, that strong connection, and if you're trying to draw your ribs down towards your hips and vice versa, this obviously isn't Tadasana. It's not a good place to be. But this is kind of the connection, the feeling that we're looking for without this. Because obviously, when we're standing in our Tadasana, we want to have that energy drawn up from the floor. And I think about drawing it up through my inner thighs and up from the ankles to those knees to the hips. The hips start to lift, even if it's just in your mind or if it's just a few mils, because that's really the difference. As the hips start to lift, and we try and soften the ribs, we get a little bit of containment through our body. But we've got this look because we want to open the heart. And then we want to stretch the waist away from the hips. So even though the ribs and the hips are trying to do this because they want to be mates, they want to make out with each other, the waist is like, oh, I don't think so. It feels good to stretch out. And we want to be proud and we want to shine our heart light forward, but we don't want to bring the tension into the back of our body. Soften the rib cage, find the length through the waist, and chin is slightly in, level with the floor, and then just bring your awareness to the curves in your spine. Bring the energy, that length, right up through the back of the head, up into the crown of your head and up into the ceiling. Connect fully down into the floor. Takes a while just to get this. What people tend to do is shift the hips out, or it depends on your posture, and it's going to feel really weird when suddenly you're quite centered. You can experiment with taking the weight slightly into the heels. Hopefully that shifts the hips back slightly, but then you want to even that weight out between the heels and the balls of the feet. Look for that lovely length. I should be able to come up to you when you're in your Tadasana, push on your shoulders, and your body should be nice and solid. If I push on your shoulders and you go, meow, meow, then you haven't lined up your body, you haven't stacked your bones, you haven't harnessed the magic that is your core muscles that connect to your lower strong muscles and your upper strong muscles. So you can either have your feet together in your Tadasana or hip width apart. Hip width is generally maybe 2 fists together or 1 fist or 1 palm between the feet. You don't really need much more than that. If you check that out, that's generally the line that comes up to those hip bones. It can be a little wider, a smidge, especially if you're doing this version. Just finding what feels comfortable and stable. People tend to step out to the edges of the hips. The good news is, everybody, your hips aren't as big as you think they are. We're generally much smaller than we think we are. I think I am huge, tall and everything. I'm not. Until when I look at photos and I see how short I am, I always get a shock because I think I am like 5'10", and I'm hardly 5'2". Right, so that's what I want you to think about when you come into your Tadasana. Are you stacking your bones? What's going on through the center? If you're a visual person like me, then maybe my crazy little visualizations might help you out. I kind of think, in my mind, the dude that's hanging out in my belly is like a little Super Mario dude. I don't know why. That's just the image I get. And he's got hold of all of these parachute strings, and my cylinder, my torso, that's like the big parachute, probably because I think about my lungs being lovely and full of air. And then all he does is he grabs them all and he just pulls them in. And that's kind of that feeling as you gently draw the ribs and the hips towards each other, stretch out through the sides of the waist, and find that containment in the body. There's just this very gentle, very easy drawing in of your core muscles. It works for me. It's what I teach them what I use in my planks, my chaturangas, my warriors. It helps to keep the body, the spine in nice alignment, and you don't end up over exaggerating your lumbar curve. You don't forget about your belly hanging out there and your chest sticking out. You don't end up in this position. Just draws everything in and keeps you safe and comfortable and contained. So have a play with that. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. And I will see you again. Let me know if there are any how-tos that you would like on any of the asana poses. And I will get to it and make you a video. Namaste.